Okay, let's take a look at problem number 7. On problem number 7, it's referring to going to fill up our tank of gas and put gallons of gas in our car. My tank holds a total of 16.5, but as I'm pumping it, it goes 4.4 gallons per minute. So that means that I am dividing. So when I'm dividing this problem, we're going to start with our total, which is 16.5, and we're dividing it by 4.4. So when I do my estimation, we'll say 17 divided by 4. Now, because my estimation should be a math fact that I want to know and get a quick answer to, I'm actually going to think out here, what if this were 16? 16 divided by 4 gives me 4. So it's about 4. And let's see if our work comes out to be the same answer. Let's go ahead and put our work over here. Inside, the house is 16.5 and outside is 4.4. Now I can't divide with a decimal outside, so I'm going to have to move him to the back one place. If I do that on the outside, I do that on the inside. And now here sits my decimal and I bring him straight up. But realize there's as many zeros back here as I need, so I might just draw a few and start dividing. Now I'm going 44 into 16. Doesn't work. 44 into 165. If I do my side work, I'm going to come up with that's about 3 times. When I actually multiply 3 times 44, I get 132 and subtract. When subtracting, I get 33, and I bring down my 0. Now I'm going to ask myself, how many 44s are in 330? If I come over here and do some side work, I'm going to say that's about 7 times. When I multiply 44 times 7, I'm going to get 308 and subtract. When subtracting, I get 22. And I bring down a 0. So now I'm asking myself, how many 44s are in 220? If I do some side work, I get about 5 times, and it actually works out to be 222, and I zero out. So my answer is 3.75 gallons per minute. Or it takes 3.75, and we're not talking about gallons, we're talking about the actual time, minutes. So, if we're really thinking about time, I would accept 3.75, but let's break that down. 3 whole minutes, and then 75 hundredths of a minute is actually going to equate to seconds. So if we want to think about what 75% of a minute is, it's going to be 45 seconds. I will accept 3 3/4 or 3.75, but if you actually look at time, it is 3 minutes and 45 seconds. Let's go down and look at number 8 now. On number 8, we have a painting. And we have this painting that now has a frame around it. So our actual dimensions got bigger. Bigger by 1.5. So when looking at perimeter, we're going to add all sides. So there's lots of different ways to set up this equation. I can take 10 1/4, and I can add to it 10 1/4, and add to it 9 7/8, plus 9 7/8, but this is just for the painting, not the frame. Each one of these is going to be increased by 1 1/2, 1 1/2, 1 1/2, 1 1/2 to include the frame. So this is a multi-step process, and when I actually add 1 1/2 to each of these numbers, I'm going to look at it that I have a length and a width, and my length becomes 11 3/4, and my width becomes 11 3/8. Now I need two lengths, length plus width plus width. So I need two of these, 11 3/4, and I need another 11 3/8, and I'm going to add these two together, and then I'm going to have to add those two final answers together to get the total distance around, which is perimeter. When I add these together, I get 23 and 1/2, sorry, and then when I add these together, I get 22 3/4 because I reduced my answers. I still have to have a common denominator, so I might translate this back to be 2/4, and when I add my total and get my final answer, I will come up with 46 1/4. Now my estimation, which I probably should have done before this, I'm going to estimate these to be whole numbers as 12 plus 12 plus 11 plus 11 and get 46. So that is the distance around for perimeter, and it's talking about total inches.